Get out of here. You're wasting my time.
Please let me back, sir. I have to get back in school. I can't go home and tell my mom I got kicked out of school.
You gotta take me home quick, kid.
You ain't getting in my car.
I got a little thinner here. What you think?
Thinner than an elephant.
Now that's go. That's
Extra.
Hey, how you doing?
You're late, man.
I feel good.
When I auditioned for Juice, yeah, we were, I had done got the house in North Carolina, so we was down there. And I had a shooting accident, basically, where I got shot in the leg. But this was after I auditioned for Juice.
Shot in the leg by who?
Well, I don't know. It was somebody in the woods. But
In North Carolina?
Right. Because see, where you go to dump your trash at, it's kind of like in the woods, and everybody's down there hunting and shooting. I don't know if it's somebody that was, just seeing me and decided, okay, well, we're going to pop his fat ass or what, but I never really carried beef like that.
It's been over 30 years since Lean on Me rocked the theaters, and we're still talking about it.
Because I'm going to do better, sir.
How?
I'm doing my work.
Remember that slightly problematic student with the big personality? Yep, that was Jermaine Hopkins, better known as Sam's. But Jermaine's story took some unexpected turns that you won't believe, from Hollywood fame to a headline-making scandal involving, just 200 pounds of weed.
So then in 2011, you get busted for attempting to purchase 200 pounds of marijuana in, I guess, Arizona?
Yeah.
Jermaine's journey is full of surprises. Let's get into the untold truth about this unforgettable star. Jermaine R. Huggy Hopkins stumbled into Hollywood and quickly became a 90s icon. Born on August 23rd, 1973.
So yeah, 70s, 80s, coming up 4th Street between Sussex and Dickinson, and between there and Dayton Street Projects, Twin City roller skating ring. A lot of my childhood memories on bikes. Newark was the suburbs, man. Nah. Newark was what it was. Got its name, the Brick City.
Yeah.
Because of all of the project development. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like a project development town. As a kid, back in Dayton Street, it was a time, and a lot of people that was, from there, lived there, whatever, could bear witness of it. They would go to the roof sometime and, they'd throw a body off of the roof. Then just being around, I used to spend my summers over there at my aunt's house and the weekends during the winter. So it was just like I lived over there. But it just, the whole vibe of it, not knowing when is somebody gonna throw somebody else off of the roof or whatever the case may be, crackhead hit the scene real hard.
Jermaine wasn't even dreaming of fame when his mom took him to a New York audition for Lean on Me. He was just 14, probably thinking this was another typical day, when bam!
They read in the newspaper, my stepfather that just recently passed, Tuskegee Airman, Joel F. Miller.
Your dad was one of those Tuskegee
Yeah, my
Airmen?
stepfather was, yes.
Oh, your stepdad, wow.
Yeah, he just passed less than a month ago. But thanks to him, that, he seen they was having an open call audition for Lean on Me. And they was looking for real street kids that never had been to acting school, never had any kind of real, training. They just wanted real raw talent because they was, imitating the school. So they wanted to, get that real raw. So he mentioned to my mom that, we think, I think we should take Jermaine over here for this. They looking for some real street kids having trouble in school. If that don't defy him, I don't know what does. So she came to me and, told me oh, well, get yourself together. We're going to go over here to New York for this audition. So it was all right, cool. We going to New York.
He left the casting team floored. Let me tell you, this was no small audition.
I go over there and I tell my mom, I was like, look, Mom, I don't want to stand in this line. There's so many people. The line was around one of these New York blocks twice, And I said, Mom, I don't. She was like, well, you got to, show some appreciation. He took his time out to bring you over here. This is my stepdad at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm a youngster. So, she's teaching me, in the same way how to, also be responsible and respectful for, things that people do for you. So, by this time, I stay in line listening to this mumbo jumbo. I'm like, man, this is some straight bull.
But just as they were about to bounce, Michael Schiffer, the writer of Lean on Me, happened to be passing by and caught a glimpse of Huggy. Something about this kid's look stopped him in his tracks. Schiffer knew he couldn't let Huggy slip away.
Michael Schiffer, the writer, he also wrote Colors, came up to me and asked me what would I do if Joe Clark caught me in the hallway and I was supposed to be in class. I told him the same thing that was on the script, but I hadn't seen the script. But it's the same shit I say in school all the time. He wrote Sam's on a piece of paper and sent me to the front of the line.
So he whisked him right to the front, past all those other kids, straight to meet the big shots, the producers and director, and before you knew it,
Did like 7 auditions. They even had me go sit with an acting coach before I went to, the auditions or whatever. And that turned my life around.
Jermaine was cast as Thomas Sams, the rebellious high schooler going head-to-head with Joe Clark, the school principal who wasn't about to put up with nonsense.
The trouble with being a teenager is you don't know nothing. The problem with teenagers is you think you're smarter than people who've already been down the road you're traveling.
Lean on Me was more than just a high school flick. It was inspired by the true story of Joe Lewis Clark, the East Side High School principal in Paterson, New Jersey, whose controversial methods sparked headlines across the country. In the film, Jermaine's role as Sams was a perfect match for him.
Are you the one who changed the school song like that? Let her answer.
Sams was one of the many students Clark was trying to save, but he came with his own set of problems: drugs, bad choices, and a lot of attitude. One of the film's most unforgettable moments was when Clark gives Sams the ultimate lesson on choices and consequences. After getting expelled, he's desperate for another shot and pleads with Clark for help. Clark, in true tough love fashion, doesn't offer an easy way out. Instead, he takes Sams up to the roof and in a dramatic moment, challenges him to jump off.
Go on, get out of here. You're wasting my time.
Please let me back, sir.
Clark's point? If Sams keeps down the path he's on, he's headed for disaster anyway, and jumping would just make it faster. Jermaine delivered raw emotion that made everyone watching sit up. People couldn't get enough of the tough love story, and Jermaine became a breakout star. Suddenly, everyone at school knew him.
I get to class and that's when it hit. Cause I'm the class clown, I gotta sit next to the teacher, all of that other stuff. I'm the one that, don't be like Jermaine, So now all your don't be like Jermaine speeches then flip because I never forget the girl name was Rashida. She came into class and yelled out, Jermaine was in the movie last night. I seen Jermaine in the movie. Everybody in the class, was talking about, but this had already done spilled from outside in the hallway. So that was the transformation for me.
He also now had enough money to take care of his mama and those around him.
The check was good enough for me to get my mother out of Newark, New Jersey. The mother that I got didn't allow me to just waste or just spend because I bought a few bikes. I was grateful that she didn't allow me to do that because I was able to purchase, and help her get out of Newark and get into a house with over 20 acres of land.
And let me tell you, that role was just the warm-up.
A good principal! We don't want a good principal! We want Mr. Clark!
Hollywood had its eyes on Jermaine, and before long, he was snagging roles that put him right in the mix with some major names. First up was the iconic Juice.
No, man. I wasn't looking for no tattoo. I was doing the Oochie Coochie, my friend.
The movie that took him from fresh face to Hollywood's rising star. Playing Steele, the loyal but low-key member of the Wreckin' Crew.
Yo, man, what's up, Lenny, man? You better hurry that ass up. The Sounds ain't going for that late shit no more.
He was suddenly on screen with icons like Samuel L. Jackson, Queen Latifah, Dr. Dre, and, hold your breath, the one and only Tupac Shakur.
You're with the rest of us, buddy.
I tell y'all what I'm really like.
Released on January 17th, 1992, Juice is a gritty portrayal of life in Harlem, following 4 teenage friends, Bishop, Raheem, Quincy, and of course, Steele, played by Hopkins, as they navigate the dangerous waters of gang life while neglecting their education. Now, Steele isn't exactly cut out for the crime game that his friends want to dive into. He's more of the go along to get along type. And it's clear that the life of crime isn't his scene.
Don't you get tired of this shit? What the fuck you want from me?
Jermaine had his own doubts, about his acting chops after Lean on Me. He thought landing a role in Juice was just a stroke of luck and struggled with imposter syndrome. But once he saw the positive reactions from audiences and critics alike, he realized, hey, I might actually be good at this. That moment ignited his passion for acting, and he decided to pursue it as a full-time career. After Juice, Jermaine continued to climb the Hollywood ladder, starring in the HBO release Strapped.
Niggas on the street is strapped and they after your back. So just be cool, man.
Which marked Forrest Whitaker's directorial debut. This gritty drama further solidified his reputation as a serious actor. But Jermaine didn't stop there. He was back on the big screen in Fat Beach as Benny King,
He's teaching me about responsibility. Get me prepared for my future.
taking audiences on a wild summer ride, and then in Def Jam's How to Be a Player as Kilo. Each character he played was different, but he brought that signature charm every time, which is why 90s fans still remember him to this day. And let's not skip his iconic TV cameos, Murder 1, Moesha,
No, but I've been dropping Beamer heads big time.
Oh, man, you want a BMW? Well, you obviously haven't seen our Saturn SC2.
Yes, I have.
you name it. Then he switched gears to comedy, joining the Wayans brothers as Dupree,
You gotta take me home quick, kid.
You ain't getting in my car.
the hilarious and lovable sidekick from 1996 to 1998. It's safe to say he showed off his comedy chops in that one. Oh, and who could ignore his scene stealing in the 1997 comedy How to Be a Player with Bill Bellamy?
Now let's go.
Jermaine brought his A game, proving he could stand toe-to-toe with comedy legends. Today, Jermaine Hopkins is embracing life as a family man. He's happily married to his wife, Renee Williams, and together they have 3 children and a grandchild he got when he was just 34. But let's be real, life in the spotlight comes with its fair share of pressures.
That was a time, man, where, like you said, things had slowed down, and it's been a few years. It put me in a situation where it's like, okay, you need to figure something else out.
Unfortunately, that pressure led him down a shocking path that left fans reeling. In 2011, Jermaine made headlines for all the wrong reasons when he was arrested in Arizona for allegedly buying a jaw-dropping 200 pounds of Mary Jane from an undercover cop. Yes, you heard that right, 200 pounds. The authorities claimed that Jermaine, who was living in North Carolina at the time,
It was my way of staying out of the drug dealer's way. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Newark. I didn't have time to acquire too many skills. Hell, I got in the first major movie at the age of 13. I can't say that I've really got too much that I've done that I regret like that.
Everybody at that time was looked at it like, oh, you know, he done messed up or he done this, that, and the other. But if you could look in the future, if you was into it enough to know like where this shit was going, I really was the Budweiser of my time before, you know what I'm saying, Prohibition, you know what I'm saying? So I hate that I lost that much money because it was 200 pounds that they actually got that I was trying to buy. But the day before that, I had bought another 100 that was at my crib. That's why if you read a little further, you see my total charge was 300 pounds.
traveled all the way to Arizona to seal this shady deal. The Maricopa County Police had set up a sting operation, and when Jermaine took possession of the stash, they swooped in and pulled over his SUV like something out of a Hollywood script. And what did they find? A staggering $100,000 in cash chilling in the vehicle. When police searched his Arizona apartment, they allegedly uncovered another 100 pounds of weed. That's enough green to make anyone's head spin. Jermaine later confessed that he got involved in this risky business with the hope of providing a memorable Christmas for his family. Faced with serious charges, 2 felony counts for possession, transportation, and trying to sell pot, Jermaine found himself in a precarious position. With a bond set at $35,000, it looked like his acting career might just take a nosedive.
You get busted with 300 pounds, and I guess you were facing 5 years.
Yeah.
but you get off with 30 days in jail and 3 years probation.
So, just like that, he walked out a free man that very day. But the consequences didn't end there. He was also given 3 years of probation to keep him on the straight and narrow. You'd think he'd figure out something legitimate to do after this, right? Fast forward to October 2017, and guess what? Our boy gets pulled over in Apex, North Carolina, and it's for speeding, going a wild 70 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. Classic Jermaine, right? But that's not all. When the cops stopped him, they made a jaw-dropping discovery. They found 5.7 pounds of pot chilling in the trunk of his car.
Well, they talking about it,
day.
man. I had a judge tell me I had a probation violation, man, and they tried to violate my probation and make me do 10 days for smoking weed because I told the officer how we started, how we finished. Every time you check me, I'm going to be dirty for weed. I'm not finna stop smoking. Do whatever you got to do. So they call themselves violating me. And the judge wound up telling them, if that's all y'all got, I'm not finna send this man to jail, you know what I'm saying, for smoking weed. Matter of fact, if y'all don't have nothing else on him, I'm gonna terminate his probation.
Seriously, who does he think he is? El Chapo? He was hit with some major charges. Possession with intent to sell and deliver marijuana, plus felony possession. And just for kicks, he snagged a speeding ticket too. So, what does Jermaine do? He pleads guilty to felony possession, and the judge goes easy on him once again. Instead of sending him to the slammer for 4 months, he suspends the sentence and slaps him with 24 months of supervised probation. Despite all these crazy legal drama, Jermaine hasn't let it affect his career. The 51-year-old is still hustling in Hollywood. This man's been popping up in movies and TV like he never left, with one of his latest appearances in the horror film Sebastian.
We need this same type of energy, activity, police work.
He even had his own reality show, Here Comes the Hopkins, where he let us all in on his family life and gave all the credit to his wife, calling her his backbone, the real MVP behind the scenes. And rumor has it, he's currently sitting on a net worth of $10,000. Not exactly millionaire status, but hey, he's hanging in there. Now, if you loved Lean on Me,
I don't want to kill myself, sir.
you'll love this little reunion moment. Jermaine linked up with his old castmates from that epic bathroom singing scene.
Praise God's name, praise God's name.
To mark the movie's 25th anniversary. And yes, they sang it again.
Praise thy name.
Who knew he had those pipes? Clearly the man still got it.